Georgia, 1956. In a small town edged by swamplands and pine trees, Elijah Eli Carter, a 32-year-old black war veteran, returned home after serving in Korea. The town hadn't changed. The streets were still segregated. The same diners still refused to serve him. And the same sheriff, Harlan Tate, still ran the county like it was his plantation. Eli had changed, though. He'd seen death. He'd seen men fight for freedom overseas, only to return home and be denied a seat at the table. He refused to bow again. In July, Eli walked into the county courthouse and tried to register to vote. He wore his uniform. Clean boots. A copy of the U.S. Constitution folded in his pocket. He was told to leave. When he refused, Sheriff Tate slammed him against the wall and threw him in jail for disturbing the peace. That night, Eli's wife Sarah, heavily pregnant with their second child, came to the jail with a local pastor. The sheriff let them leave, but not without a warning. "You're making trouble, Carter. Keep pushing, you'll end up in the ground." On the morning of August 14, just after sunrise, Eli's modest wood frame house on Pine Hill Road exploded into flames. Neighbors ran, too late, as the fire engulfed the home. Miraculously, Sarah and the children had spent the night at her mother's house due to illness. Eli had stayed behind. His body was found in what used to be the kitchen. Burned beyond recognition, he was identified only by his dog tags. The local paper ran the headline, "Veteran Killed in Housefire, No Foul Play Suspected." Sarah didn't believe it. Neither did anyone in the black community. A 14-year-old black boy named Jesse Monroe, a neighbor, claimed he saw two white men driving away from Eli's house before the explosion. He told his father, who told the pastor, who told Sarah. They went to the sheriff. The sheriff called Jesse a liar. 3 days later, Jesse went missing. His body was found weeks later in the swamp. Drowned. The coroner ruled it accidental. But his shoes were tied together, and his wrists bore rope burns. Sarah Carter became a quiet storm. She reached out to the NAACP, then to Thurgood Marshall himself. Though Marshall couldn't personally come, he sent attorney Lewis Wade, a young black lawyer from Atlanta. Together, they gathered evidence, interviews, photos. But every attempt to press charges was stonewalled by the county. The grand jury refused to indict. The FBI quietly dropped the case. Still, Sarah persisted. "If the courts won't give me justice," she said, "then I'll tell the world." Chapter 6, The Tape. In 1973, 17 years after Eli's death, an elderly white man named Hugh Stokes, dying of cancer in Florida, confessed to a reporter. In a taped interview, he said, "We was told to scare him. Just a fire, you know? But the gas line went fast. We didn't know he was inside." Stokes named Sheriff Tate as the man who gave the order. He said the fire was meant as a warning. But Eli died. And Jesse saw too much. The story was published. The tape aired on local radio. And the nation listened. Sheriff Tate, now retired and in poor health, denied everything. But the damage was done. Chapter 7, Recognition, at last. In 1980, over 2 decades after his murder, Eli Carter was posthumously awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for his service and his role in advancing civil rights. A small plaque now stands at the site of his home. Here stood the house of Elijah Carter, veteran, voter, victim, voice. His daughter, Ruth, born 2 weeks after his death, became a civil rights historian. Her book The Fire They Lit became a national bestseller.